Hello and welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. I'm going to dim the lights a little bit. Meaning the sunlight. I have Seagram's VO. You've got VO. I've got VO. Seagram's VO. What does VO mean? No one knows. Some people say very old, very own. It's a mystery. There's the Seagram's crest. Imported Seagram's VO Canadian whiskey, a blend. I guess the official name is Seagram's VO Canadian because it says Seagram's VO Canadian whiskey, a blend. Over 140 years of integrity, tradition, and craftsmanship. Let me update the title. There's no age statement on the bottle. Jeep and Foodie says, I made it in time. Sometimes he misses it. Hey, Caleb. Ronnie S. says, good day, Ron. Good day to you. Beer Hounds Beer Review says, cheers, Ron. Cheers to you over there in California. I know y'all having some bad restriction problems going on. I'm sorry to hear that. It ain't good here. Okay, so this thing is gold. You can see, look, it's a clear label, like most of these whiskeys, and it's gold. This product existed from 1984 when it was introduced by Seagram's until 1980 when it was bought by the Sazerac Company, and it just became known as simply Canadian Hunter. All right, I've got a modern bottle of Canadian Hunter, but it used to say Seagram's Canadian Hunter. Well, since it wasn't owned by Seagram's anymore, they just dropped that and called it Canadian Hunter. And over the years, they kind of modified the label. Hello, everyone, says Brian, the beer snob. Hello to you, Brian. Ronnie S. says, no restrictions here except for masks. Yeah, and it's not even Halloween. Okay. Or Mardi Gras. No restriction in Georgia. Good. It's good to hear. So, but what I was going to say, so there's the back side of the bottle. Now, this is a brown bottle. Brown is better because it keeps the light out, which can damage the whiskey, but I have them in a cabinet most of the time, so the light's not hitting them. Now, look on the LCBO website, Liquor Control Board of Ontario. They sell this product, and it says it's aged 6 years, and I assume they're getting that information from the distiller. You understand? It's like they call them a sell sheet, and it's like an information sheet so they could type up stuff for their store. Georgia is the center of attention right now. Yeah. Because Georgia basketball is on TV tonight at 7 Eastern. Yeah. All right. I think that he's referring to Georgia men's basketball. Okay. Now this one, it says age 3 years. Age 3 years. Now, it's going to be pretty. There's the hunter. He's got his rifle with the 3 dogs. The 2 dogs, I'm sorry. The mountains in the background, the trees. If you look at the modern bottle, it doesn't have an age statement. And it doesn't taste the same. I thought they were going to taste the same because when I tasted this on its own, I said, oh, that tastes just like Canadian Hunter. But when I did a side-by-side, a blind taste test, it did not. Now, who's going to win this contest? You would assume Seagram's VO because the Canadian Hunter will run you about $8.99. I'm talking about the modern bottle. You can literally get it for $8.99 at some stores. Now, it might cost more at others. Probably will cost more at some others. Now, this one run you about $16. And you can get the big jug at sometimes at Walmart, the big handle bottle, 1,750 milliliters for like $19.99. on occasion, more like $20.99, but still you can get a good deal on it. Okay, but Canadian Hunter, you can really get a good deal on it. So let's go challenge. I don't need tags really. Well, yeah, I do. For these are both gold. These are both gold. But for most of these Canadian whiskeys, they color them so much they're they're darker than you would think they should be. Georgia basketball, says Ronnie, smiling cowboy. Do they allow fans? A few. Dark Lotus says new thing in House passed decriminalizing weed. Yeah. Okay. So New Jersey House did. We'll pour the BO. Let me get my date book out because this is counting for Monday. This is actually Monday's taste challenge, but Monday is Multi Monday, and they're going to be doing Mexican style lagers, and so it's not going to work out. Put a check mark there, so got Monday done. Good. And now Jesse at Bumpy Road Brewery was saying he would rather a craft Mexican style beer lager. But I have tried some of those. But then to me, they don't taste as good as just regular Mexican beer, and they're way more expensive. So I was like, why would I pay, some high price when I could just buy a whole 12-pack of, like, say, Dos Equis Ambar, which to me is way better than a lot of those 4.5% pale lagers from craft beer companies that tastes kind of like Corona Extra, maybe not as good. So I don't get that whole thing. Why do you want to do that? Blood Mohawk says, drinking some whiskey right now. Okay. I'm talking about Washington, D.C. The U.S. Congress, the House passed that. I didn't hear that on the news, but maybe they did. Okay. It really shouldn't be a federal law anyway. I did a whole video about that. If you watch the video, it's called Just Say No to Federal Drug Laws. Still posted, just say no to federal drug laws. Except as it concerns customs, because you see customs is under the purview of the federal government. And of course, interstate commerce. But inside the states, they should regulate their own. Are you bringing Corona? No, I think I might bring Dos Equis Ambar because I like the way it tastes. Well, let's look at the appearance. Here we notice that the VO is darker. It's deeper gold. Do they have color added? Well, I don't know. If they age it for 6 years in an oak barrel, well, it just might get that shade of gold. And I don't see why LCBO would post incorrect information, right? And there's the pale gold. Straw almost. Age 3 years. And it might have gotten that color after 3 years. Because remember, when they put it in the barrel, it's clear. The whiskey's just clear. It has no color. It's just like water. It looks like water. And so, or it looks like vodka. And the color comes from the charred oak barrels. Never lie. Oh, I can taste a slight fruity taste of my whiskey. Yeah, you get that sometimes. Just say no to the federal government. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not an extremist like that now. I would say just say no to a lot of what they do, Oh, golly, it sloshed around, I think. So I'm not anti-government, anti-bad government, which would be a huge part of what we're dealing with, you know, a huge part of the federal system these days. You know, I'm talking about always. Cognac gives me lucid dreams. Oh, yeah? Well, that may be good, I guess, or bad. I don't know. Any alcohol gives me very vivid dreams and sometimes nightmares. So, yeah, well, if you're drinking too much, I guess. All right. So I can't look because one is darker than the other, and that'll be a dead giveaway. The darker one would be the VO, the Seagram's VO. Is VO common? Well, yeah, any liquor store in the world, well, not the world, I guess, any liquor store in North America is going to have it for sure. That goes without saying. And most bar rooms, when they used to have bar rooms that people could go to, those taverns, they'll have VO, and stores will sell in all kind of sizes: the big jug bottles, the liter, the 750, the 375, and so on. Happy Friday, peeps, says Julie. Some civil servants are just like my loved ones. They work so hard and they try to be strong, says Nina Yordi. Yeah. Okay, so what do I pick up on this? A lot of wood, like whiskey saturated wood, which means oak barrel. A lot of and some char, actually. You say, no, it's old barrels. I don't know when I'm picking it up. A lot of corn, which is the main ingredient. Maize, corn, you know. Could be some rye spice. They might have malt. They do usually have malt whiskey added in. And with these Canadian whiskeys, they can add flavorings. They don't even have to disclose it. It can be up to 9.9% flavorings. Could be sherry, rum, brandy, bourbon from the United States. Yeah. Got it on my nose. It's hard when you're doing it blind, like literally blind. It's a little different, but it's similar to the things I just described. Maybe, There could be some differences, but they're very close in aroma. I have to say, if there are differences, there aren't many. So they both smell pleasant. They're like a well-made, barrel-aged corn whiskey with a little malt whiskey and a little wheat, maybe a little wheat and rye, huh? And then it could, like I say, it could be up to 9.9% flavorings of some sort. Of course, now remember, the flavorings got to be spirits, other spirits, or wine. I guess it could be all wine. Do they? They don't have to go up to 9.9. That's the allowance. It could be 1% flavoring, you know, or no flavoring. They don't have to add flavoring. They're allowed to add flavor. Okay. They could make it 100% corn if they wanted. The only requirement, it has to be aged at least 3 years in oak. At least 3 years. Well, that's a very basic whiskey. That's very basic in the taste. And I don't mean to say that it's bad, but it's just basic. It's a corn distillate, Mohawk says, drinking too much. I have not yet begun to defy myself. Haha. Okay. So it's a standard flavor, meaning the corn, a little nectar, like you would get from flowers type thing, nectar, and the oak. Okay, taste over here. Charred oak. But there's more sweetness on this in my right hand. Did it taste good when you drink? Says Stephen DeLucre. Stephen DeLucre. Yeah, it tastes good. One rye lager left in the cellar. Not sure what to pair with. Maybe ham. Might be nice with a McRib. Oh, yeah, I forgot to get the McRib today. We ended up getting Popeye's chicken, which was good, but one of the pieces was not spicy. I told this guy, Eddie, I said, Eddie, this ain't even spicy. This one's just regular. And he was saying, yeah, it's mild. I said, well, I ordered spicy. The first two pieces were spicy. It was irritating. Now, the Cajun rice was good. Of course, I added black pepper and some onions to it, red onions. And then the buttermilk biscuits are always good over there. I think I prefer Church's honey butter biscuit, but the whatever those things are called, sourdough biscuits, they were very good. And JV's Hangout. This is not Jeremy Vincent, y'all. This is JV's Hangouts. Don't confuse the two. He says, cheers, Ron. Cheers to you, you mystery person. All right. I think the one on my right hand is a Canadian Hunter based on the 2 times I've tasted it. I mean the Seagram's Canadian Hunter. Brian says, Nini Yordi, I will be having a McRib in an hour. By the time I go get them next week, they'll probably all be gone. I'll be so brokenhearted, but I won't. I'll get over it. JV said he's laughing so much he's crying. I know you made that test video, but I didn't watch it because I was so I'm still so backed up on beer reviews. I got to watch all these beer reviews. It's going to take forever. And I got to check and see what I missed the last 12 hours. Oh, I'm sure people posted a lot of stuff. Okay. Is the VO smoother? Probably. I mean, after all, it is the price. Nearly half the price. I mean, twice the price. What am I saying? I'm thinking backwards. It's twice the price. I mean to say the Canadian Hunter's about half the price. See what happens when you wake up at 1:47 a.m.? Start to slip around this time. 1:47 is kind of early, huh? But I was able to watch a lot of beer reviews before work. Listen to them mainly like a radio show. They were very good. Push that back. Ron, you a Mac or Windows guy? Windows. I don't know how to use Mac or be in the cool kids club with Linux. Yeah, no, Microsoft guy. All right. Okay, which one tastes better? Would. Would you like to? All right. Wood here too. Maybe more bitter, not bitterness, what you call it, pepperiness. More rye. They went crazy with rye. I like rye whiskey though. I don't know why Seagram's made Canadian Hunter when they had so many other Canadian whiskeys already. I don't know what they thought they were going to accomplish with that. Oh, they are Apple people. Is anything that's not beer or wine considered a spirit? I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know. Um, I guess they were trying to give some revitalize the company, give some oomph to their portfolio, which I guess was not doing that well, even though they were the largest liquor company in the world until 20 years ago. Um, but whatever the case, I don't think Seagram's Canadian Hunter really caught on. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it really did much. So 5 years later, they sold it to Sazerac along with Benchmark, along with Fireball. What a mistake, right? Along with it used to be called Dr. McGillicuddy's Fireball. They still make Dr. McGillicuddy's flavored whiskeys, but Fireball they dropped that name from it. I think Dr. McGillicuddy's is a Diageo brand. Benchmark, Seagram's VO, Dr. McGillicuddy's. It was a whole bunch of brands. Now, Sazerac made something out of Canadian Hunter because it does pretty well today. Of course, Seagram still sells. It's not like it used to be, though. Seagram's VO used to be probably one of the top 5 whiskeys. I mean, it's in the top 20, but it's not what it was. Diageo bought it 20 years ago, and then they went and turned around and sold it to Sazerac this year. Or was it last year? Yeah, last year. 2018, actually. It's 2018, right? Yeah. So it didn't really, they didn't do much with it. And now Sazerac said they're going to try to do something with it. But it's hard to take these old brands. People think of it as some old grandpa beer or grandma whiskey and try to make it cool, you know. I don't know how many young people are going to say, "Oh yeah, we're going to drink Seagram's VO." You know, I mean, it's a pretty label, but it's just so old timey. But it looks good. Then the biggest mistake would be to change it. You know, make it some new snappy label with a chimpanzee on it or something. You know, and then they really destroy the brand. Daryl Macia said, "Good afternoon, Ronald. Cheers to the chat." Oh, thanks. Cheers to all of y'all. So I think the VO's in my left hand, and I think it's slightly better, but I wouldn't pay. I mean, I wouldn't pay $16 versus $9. But now you see the Canadian Hunter they make today is not as good as the Seagram's Canadian Hunter I'm drinking right now. So if I was buying regular Canadian Hunter, like you can get on the market today, versus VO, I might just pay extra and get the VO, honestly. But Canadian Hunter's fine. You know, it's fine. I'd rather the Hunter Rye, 90 proof, which I can't get. Not to my knowledge, I can't get it. I ought to call Sazerac and say, where y'all got that? Where y'all got that? Where y'all got that whiskey? I will call. You know what? I will call them eventually because I'd like to get a regular size bottle, you know, a respectable size. Not one of them little plastic hinky dink bottles. Hey, Ron, have you ever tried blackened whiskey? I never heard of it. I have a bottle I've been sipping on a few months. I'd like to know a whiskey drinker's opinion on it. I never even heard of it. Nina says, Seagram's is good stuff. Good name. When did you last see 7-Up? I mean, I see it. I never drank it. I guess people drink 7-Up, mostly, I guess, to make mixed drinks, but some people just drink it out the bottle. Cheers to the relaxing Friday. To a relaxing Friday, says Avery D'Agostino. Yeah, cheers to your relaxing Friday also. Clemby says, we have the Canadian Hunter Rye here in North Carolina. It's one of my go-to for a budget whiskey. And see, I bought some of that Hunter Rye in New Orleans. Then I said, I'll just get a regular bottle. And I never did find it. Never could find it. So I'm going to call Sazerac. One good thing about Sazerac, if you call them, they'll tell you exactly what stores have it. They'll tell you directly. They'll look on the computer, say, hold on. You hear them typing. Oh, yeah, go to this place. They got it. They'll know. It'll be accurate, too. Believe me, I've gone there. They've got it. course, it's good to call just to be sure. How's the weather in Louisiana right now? You're in Arizona chilling, says Damian Hafley. It's a little chilly. It's about 56, 55 degrees and dropping. It's going to get down to about 43 and then up to about 60 tomorrow. But sunny, you know. Well, I'll say sunny now. I'm looking at clouds. So, okay. Well, partly sunny, partly cloudy. Was sunny earlier. Okay. Like an hour ago. All right. So this is the VO, I think. I'm pretty sure. These glasses are for far away, not up close. It's like nothing but blur. It's not like a camera that will adjust, you know. It is. It is the VO. And that's the Canadian Hunter. The Seagram's Canadian Hunter. So twice in a row now I got it right. I don't think I'm going to miss it too many times. I don't think I'm going to get it wrong. I don't think, you know what? I may not get it wrong in the whole series. I would be so glad. I have Albertson's Canadian whiskey coming up tomorrow. I don't see that anymore because I don't think they make it anymore. I think it's gone. It got replaced by Canadian Crest, which they got a nice new label for that. Pretty label. The other label was sort of kind of not pretty. But I have a little bit of the Canadian Crest left. You can get that around. It's so cheap. It's like $6.50 a bottle. I'm not kidding. But they did do a nice new label. I was at Albertsons in Baton Rouge, Louisiana last Saturday. I said, oh, look at them with their new label. And they sold a lot of it too. They only had the big handle bottles left. All the glass was gone. I said, people must be blowing through this stuff. What else do I have from Sazerac to do? I don't know. I may not have any more Canadian whiskeys from Sazerac to bring into this. I think I'm drinking them all up. But I do have, oh yeah, I got Caliber. What am I saying? I have Caliber. Caliber is fine. It's so cheap. It's the cheapest. It's $5.99, $5.96 a bottle. I'm not lying. And then I have Gibson's Finest Rare. It is rare in Louisiana because nobody sells it. Gibson's, which I didn't like, 12 years, aged 12 years. And I said, you aged it for 12 years and all you got was this? It tastes like toothpick wood. I've got Black Velvet, which I can't stand. I've got Heir to the Throne. I'm trying to figure out what throne they ever dreamed they were going to inherit because they don't even make it anymore. What a flop that was. And expensive? Yes, it was expensive. I had Royal Canadian from Sazerac. I forgot about that. Now, Royal Canadian is more like traditional. It tastes more like the Seagram's VO or even more like Crown Royal. You say, they copied off of Crown Royal. No, because Crown Royal came after Royal Canadian. Royal Canadian was introduced in 1934, and Crown Royal came out in 1939. It was two separate companies, but Sazerac owns Royal Canadian today. There's an old photograph of Ozzy Osbourne in 1976 on a rock and roll tour holding up a huge inflatable bottle of Royal Canadian on stage, like, yeah. I was like, well, if a big rock band can drink it, so can you. And then I'm going to close it out, of course, with Crown Royal. And I guess Crown Royal is going to win. Pretty obvious, but thanks for your reviews, says Zach Robinson. I'm watching while I'm sipping on some Ezra Brooks. I've never had Ezra Brooks, but I bought a bottle for a friend last year for Christmas, and he must have liked it because it didn't last too long. The 90 proof, or was it the 86 proof? I'm pretty sure it was the 90 proof one I bought. He blew through that so quick. Did I turn the heat on? No, not yet. Not the central heat. Just the little room heaters. You should look up Blackened, Ron. It's the whiskey sponsored by Metallica. Oh, Blackened. I guess it's it's going to be an injustice for all. Interesting story. Well, I try not to associate with Metallica for the last 29 years, actually. Okay. Me and Metallica have not spoken to each other in 29 years. It was a bad falling out based on a great, monstrous betrayal. But that's another story. Anyway, that's it. Seagram's Canadian Hunter. Yes, you can still buy it. I know where to get it. Even though this bottle is 31 years old, believe it or not, it really is. It could be older than 31, but it can't be newer than 31 because that was the year Seagram's was selling it off to Sazerac, and it became just Canadian Hunter. You can see other bottles that look just like this, but the Seagram's just dropped off and it like made the letters bigger here. So yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I don't know why it wasn't too popular, but who knows? They might have been doing a bad job promoting it. Sazerac doesn't do a bad job promoting it because guess what? They don't promote it. That's how they get around that. They don't promote it at all. They just stick it on the shelf and people buy. But it's a pretty good following. It's surprising that there's so many people that buy Canadian Hunter these days, 2020. It's one of the top 20 Canadian whiskeys, and I think it's in the top 10. And you say, yeah, well, yeah, I know people drink that. Anyway, did someone say Esau? Ha ha, yeah. I said that on Rock and Roll Club. I said Metallica was Esau. They sold their birthright for a pot of porridge or stew or lentils, which depends on what interpretation of the Bible. But it was a bowl of something Esau ate, probably some kind of stew. And you say you would sell your birthright for a bowl of stew? Yeah, you came out the heat and you were hungry. And that's how short-sighted you were. And that could be credited to that particular band. Okay, but I mean, I don't care. Look, do what you want. Go ahead. Do what you want to do. I do not have to be part of it because nothing else matters. Now, and I don't need that in my life. Okay. Daryl Macias, have you had black? And I like it, but I'm not a whiskey drinker. So I'd have to know how it ranks for a whiskey. Cheers. Yeah, so you would have to have somebody that really knows. Oh, you know what you should do? The Malta Gentleman. You know what y'all should do if you want to look up the reviews for Blackened? Look on distiller.com. That's a whiskey review site, much like Beer Advocate or Untappd for beer. Distiller.com. I bet if you type in Blackened, they'll have a number of reviews, and then you'll see what people say about it. If Metallica logo is on, it's probably overpriced. Oh yeah, all these rock band beer, wine, and liquors are so high, and that's coming from a Metallica fan. The Malta Gentleman, I bought it for a friend who's a Metallica fan. I went to see that band live in 1986. Sure did. Best concert I ever saw. All right. People always ask me, what's the best rock concert you ever saw? I said, that's easy to say. Metallica, Master of Puppets tour. It's not even close. Anyway, it was a pretty close contest here, but VO does win by a little bit. It did outperform, but I was kind of expecting that. So I have enough VO left for probably, let's say, 2 taste challenges. So I can go up against Crown Royal Black. I don't know if it'll beat Crown Royal Black. And then I can go up against Canadian Gold. Oh, it'll probably beat that. I don't know anything about Canadian Gold, but I got a bottle. I mean, that thing's been around since 1962. Probably just kind of ordinary, but anyway, it is a brand. Has a nice looking label. All right, so thanks for watching. Tomorrow morning we'll be back with Dawn Buster's Taste Challenge, and it's going to be Seagram's Canadian Hunter 1989 or older bottle versus Albertson's Canadian whiskey, another product that's probably off the market, but you might see it lingering around some store. Last bit of comments. Heavy Metal magazine doesn't seem to showcase any beer or whiskey. I'd love to see that content. Okay. Metallica is more like Metallica nowadays, says Damian Hapley. Yeah. I don't even want to think about Metallica. Okay. Nina Yordi says, stay healthy, Ron. Thanks. You too, Nina. You too. And so that's that. See you all tomorrow morning. And I got a taste challenge to post. I did another light beer taste challenge. Another beer review. I did so many beer reviews in the last 2 weeks. Crazy.